Well, good morning folks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lee. I'm your virtual airline pilot, back with another scenery review, the first one of this week. Where are we? We are in the Republic of Ireland. Now, recently I did a review of the airport of Derry, which was quite well received, and I'd like to say thanks to the gentleman who works there who contacted me. It was nice to talk to you. So yeah, we're back in the Republic again, and this time we're at Knock, Ireland West Airport in the Republic. It's Echo India Kilo November. This is a payware scenery by FlyX Simulations, and you're looking at version 1.3 for the PC version of Flight Simulator 2020. There is a 2024 version available too when you purchase this, or vice versa. The download comes in at 577 meg, and it installs 853 meg, so it's not huge, but there is quite a lot in here for you to see. You can get it from Inibuilds or from Simmarket. Currently, as of today, 1st of April, it would appear that the best price is on Inibuilds, and that's €17.27, which equates to around about $18.65 US, or £14.39 UK. Now, the US and the Euro prices are estimates taken from the UK pound, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course could vary depending on your country of purchase. So you're looking down there at the ASOBO ATR-72 aircraft in the Aer Lingus livery, and if anybody's interested, this ASOBO Air 42/72-600 Aer Lingus livery, it's available for FLIGHTSIM 2020 by Demo Designs. You can find it on FLIGHTSIM.TO, and I'll put the link to that in the description below for anybody who's interested. Okay, so let's look at features. So features, we have a detailed replica of Knock Ireland West Airport, the terminal and surrounding buildings. Custom surrounding models and features are included. All materials created with PBR textures. Shading and occlusion, or texture baking, effects on all airport buildings, and high-resolution textures. Use of native, highly efficient GTITF models. A custom ortho photo for the airport and surrounding areas. And note, there's also a GSX Profile here, and you'll have seen that in the intro. You see them walking about there. That's available for Inibuilds, and if you've got the desktop app, then you can certainly get that. For users of that product. So there's the features. Let's look at some history briefly. Okay, history. Knock Ireland West Airport, Echo India Kilo November, officially known as Ireland West Airport Knock, and previously known as HORAN International Airport, is a public-use international airport owned and operated by Connaught Airport Development Company Limited, a private company, 82% owned by HORAN Airport Trust. The remaining 17.5% is owned by several local authorities: Donegal County Council, Galway County Council, Galway City Council, Leitrim County Council, Mayo County Council, Roscommon County Council, and Sligo County Council. The airport lies some 3.5 miles or 5.6 kilometres southwest of Charlestown, County Mayo, in the Republic of Ireland. The village of Knock is about 12 miles or 20 kilometres away. Some 800,000 passengers use the airport in 2023, making it the fourth busiest in Ireland after Dublin, Cork and Shannon. The idea behind the construction of Knock Airport came from one Mr. SHER RAFIQUE, a multi-millionaire in the 1980s. The site, up on a hill in boggy terrain, was thought by many to be an unrealistic location choice, but the airport was built following a long and controversial campaign by Monsignor James HORAN, the story of which has even inspired a musical. Primary motivation for building it was to attract pilgrims to Knock Shrine. Despite criticisms that the site was too boggy and too foggy, James HORAN delivered an airport within 5 years, primarily financed by a government grant of £9.8 million, and the airport opened on the 25th of October 1985, with 3 Aer Lingus charter flights to Rome. The official opening was on the 30th of May 1986. Now, James HORAN died shortly after the opening of the airport, and his funeral was held at the then named HORAN International Airport. Since 2003, low-cost and regional airlines including Air Lingus, the flag carrier, My Travel Light, BMI Baby, Ryanair, Air Iran, Flybe, Lufthansa and EasyJet have added routes to Great Britain and mainland Europe. Not all have proven successful, but by 2005 the airport was handling 500,000 passengers per annum. In 2007, scheduled transatlantic services to New York and Boston commenced in May that year, operated by the now defunct Fly Globespan. A record 629,000 passengers used the airport in 2008, a 13% rise on the previous year. The installation of a Category 2 instrument landing system in April 2009 has resulted in a significant reduction in the number of flight diversions to other airports due to poor visibility. In 2013, Ryanair launched a weekly summer service to Malaga operating on Thursdays. Aer Lingus Regional, which took over the Birmingham route using ATR 72s, ended the service on 26th of October. Flybe began 4 times weekly flights on the route in October. In October 2013, in response to the scrapping of the Irish travel tax, Ryanair unveiled 3 new routes from Knock to Glasgow Prestwick, Kaunas and Eindhoven. However, these routes had all been withdrawn by the 4th quarter of 2014. In November 2017, it was announced that £15 million would be invested in improving and upgrading the airport in 2018 and 2019 to coincide with strong passenger growth. These plans including the upgrade of car parks, passenger facilities, the terminal and resurfacing of the runway. And currently Ryanair, Aer Lingus and Emerald Airlines operate into and out of Knock Airport. So there you are folks, a brief history. Things have been up and down for this airport, but it got built, and here the FlyX simulation version, as you can see from this shot, I mean it fits in so well with the surrounding scenery. You can't sort of see where the airport scenery begins and the default scenery ends. It's another nice little airport in Ireland, and to be honest, another nice little airport generally. So that was history. Let's look at the runway here. Okay, runways. So Knock Ireland West International Airport operates a single runway 2608, measuring 7,546 feet or 2,300 meters, and is made from asphalt. And note that length does not include the turning pegs either end. There are places online where you might see a slightly higher figure, but the actual runway there is with the figures I've just given you. The airport lies at an elevation of 665 feet or 203 meters and sits within the GMT UTC time zone. Now the Republic of Ireland does indeed observe daylight saving time or DST, and the airport is currently on the same time as the mainland UK. Now today's video is the 1st of April 2025, and the UK has just moved on to British Summer Time by going 1 hour ahead of GMT, and as luck would have it, Ireland does exactly the same, so the time zone remains exactly the same as the UK. So runways, we're looking down the throat of runway 26, and it features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system version 2, centerline lighting, runway and identifier lighting system, a short field approach lights and precision approach path indicators on both sides. Now looking at this runway here, we've got one thing missing and one thing added. You've got the PAPIs on both sides. There's the centerline lighting and the high intensity lighting. Here's the short field approach lighting system. That's all good. The runway and identifier lights, 2 white lights flashing either side of the runway here, are missing. But you've got touchdown zone lighting as well, which again is not on the charts. Anything that's added to enhance the ability for you to make a landing I'm quite happy with. So touchdown zone lighting is not a problem, but a small touch, I mean, you know, the runway and identifier, the 2 lights either side of the runway there, again I'm not really going to complain about them, but it's just that they're on the charts and they're missing from the scenery here. Approach options for runway 26. You have an instrument landing system with A and B options, and note if this is certified to category 2 low visibility. You also have an RNP, a VOR and an NDB approach option at this end of the runway. So let's go have a look at the other end, runway 08. Okay, so once again here we are looking down the throat of runway 08, which features the high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system, center line lighting and precision approach path indicators on both sides. This end there is no runway end identifier lights, and as you can see once again they've added touchdown zone lighting, which again isn't on the charts. No short field or approach lighting system as well, so that's not shown here and it's not on the chart, so that's correct. So yeah, all looking good, fine, and you've got the PAPIs on both sides. Now approach options for this runway, you have just RNP, VOL or NDB. There's no ILS at this end of the runway, but as you can see you've got quite a significant displaced threshold, and here's the turning pad. So when you add those into the runway length you do get significantly more, but the actual runway length are the figures that I just gave you. So a couple of things missing, one or two things added, but you know, realistically I'm not worried at all. It looks fine. You've got plenty here for landing and takeoff. Okay, so no jetways at this airport, so let's get down to the main tour and let's have a look and see what we're being shown here. Okay, so here we are at the western end of the airport. You've got runway 08 in front of us that we just recently looked at during the runways section of the review. So let's move forward, head towards the airport main. Here I think is what you've got, the fire training ground. A couple of buses there and an old aircraft. There's the fence line complete with the road that goes round it. And to be honest, I just love the way this fits in. The terrain modelling looks really good. The ortho photo works really well. There's your windsock, and it just looks lovely. So let's move a little bit here. You've got this area here. There's two aprons, apron B and apron A. This is apron B. As you can see, you've got little bits and pieces there. That I think is an FSLTL aircraft, so you can ignore that to some extent. But as you can see, they've modelled everything. And you've got little cars and things here and there. Concrete modelling looks really good. And there you've got the gate by the fence line. That I believe is emergency access. So here we're coming to the main apron. I can't see any cars out of their slots, and that's really nicely done. We've got the fire station below us. We'll look a bit closer in a minute. And you come across the main apron, apron A. This I believe is the fuel farm. And again you've got the fence line that goes right the way down, all the way down to the end here. And I have to say, this ortho photo that they're using really works. Coupled with 3D modelling, it looks great. And there you can see the fence line goes right the way around the airport, and there's the gate on the other side as well. It's really good. Okay, so let's move in towards the main apron airside and have a close look for you during the daytime. There's a little fuel area that we looked at or passed over a moment ago, and again you've got some really nice modelling here. And the gates look great, the fence line looks really good. So we'll pass over the main ramp, have a close look in a minute. Ground markings are excellent. They've done a really good job with the 3D modelling. Your various vehicles here. And the buildings look good, they're weathered. There's the control tower on the left, which looks as though there's some internal. We'll look in a minute. So we pass over to landside. And it's nice, you know. It is really nice. It just looks great, really does. Done an excellent job here. So you've got car rental agency down there. And here to the north of the airport you can see further parking. And you've got a highway there to the left. Again, all 3D modelled, no cars out of place. This is the kind of quality you look at for in the scenery. So as we head east and pass over the trees, let's look at Apron B. So you've got this area on the buildings here just to the west of Apron B, which we're coming up on now. Just coming up there. But again, it's nicely modelled. The foliage and the trees all look really good. They work very well. So here we've got Apron B. As you can see, I've got an FSLTL aircraft sitting there on the stand. But once again, nicely modelled buildings. It all looks really good. It's just very nice. So while we're here, just a quick look at some of the taxiway signage and the taxiway generally. Here you've got Taxiway Bravo that brings you off onto Apron B, and you can see you've got the signs here properly on plinths all raised up, and the concrete taxiway markings look wonderful. Can't see any airfield blue edge lights here, but we'll see. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's get down to the stand proper where the aircraft is and have a close-up look at what we've got. Okay, so here we are on stand 2 with the aircraft parked there, the ATR. As you can see, the ground markings are really crisp. Once again, we spawn directly from the menu onto stand 2. You've got stand 2 left and right and the centre. And as you can see, we're on the centre line, and it's also pretty much right on the marker. Here's the arrivals end. People go in and out of the building. The building looks great, doesn't it? There you've got the baggage area. You pull up here and the bags go on and they go into arrivals. And here's the control tower. We'll have a look at that in a minute. You can see there appears to be some internal development. We'll have a look in a minute. But the stand itself looks pretty good. I mean, there's lots of really good featured modelling here. And look, you've even got the weathering on the lamp stand here, and you can see the bolts holding it in. I mean, this is quality modelling. It's very, very good. There's the control tower. Really looks really good from the outside. Let's pop in and see what we have. Okay, so we have internal development, which looks great, but once again, no controllers. I never really understand why developers, they go this far and they just can't seem to just go that little small 1/10 and add the controller inside. There's a view looking out across the stand. I mean, it's great. It's really fine. Just would really benefit from somebody in here. So here's the old baggage belt there as well for the departures, and you've got the tugs and trolleys there. And just again an example of how detailed this is, and just the attention to detail that they've done. Look, you've even got the fire exit, these tiny little things on these doors, literally out in the middle of nowhere. It's great. So there's the fire station, and you've got a single fire tender in front of it. This looks to be maybe just a default kind of model, because there's no markings on there to say Island or Knock Airport or anything. But no, nonetheless, that looks fine. So let's have a look at landside. There you've got arrivals there on the right hand side. The car models are excellent. There's not much in the way of repetition. They all look pretty good, and they're all perfectly placed, which is excellent. Here's the terminal departures building. Again, the 3D modelling on the roads with the parked cars. Would have been nice to see some people stood out here. But it looks good. And just a quick scan across the car park. You've got some scenery popping, but really it's not a big issue. There's EUROPCAR, rental car, and you've got the airport signage and hoardings there on the left. This, I believe, is the entrance road coming into the airport. And it looks good, really does. And here's the entrance. We go right out to the roundabout here on the default scenery, and just a good example here of how default is met with the scenery end. Okay, you can see the join there, but it's not a big issue. But as you can see, the airport looks great. So let's go inside the terminal and see what we can find. So we'll start by going into departures from LANDSIDE. And there we go, we've got some people and some modelling inside the terminal. And words in I think it's Gaelic, the Irish language. It's nice modelling, you know, no complaints at all. And we've got some people, that's great. It's a little bit basic in some ways, but it's beautifully done. And there you can see the entrance doors, a couple of models here, and the big hoarding there on the wall. Looks really good. Okay, so this is what would be check-in. There's good signage at the check-in desks. But unfortunately no passengers checking in and no staff either. It just looks a bit like a ghost town, which is a real pity. You know, just add that touch with a few people. These days you've got passenger models that just don't affect the frame rate, and you can stick a few inside just to bring it to life a bit. They're looking in the other direction. So we go up the stairwell. So here we are on the upper level. You've got a restaurant. Again, one or two people around. And it just looks nice. It's pretty basic. Could have done a little bit more, but it looks nice. And once again, going up close to these flight boards, you can see them really, really crisp, even up close. This is what I like, and it's just, you know, it exudes quality. So we've got a couple of people looking out there, one lady grabbing some coffee. And finally there's the view out across the ramp to where the aircraft is parked. Okay, let's head into arrivals from airside. And once again we've got something that's fairly basic, but it's been modelled. And here you've got the baggage belt there to the left. And the various zones there. Red when you want to declare something, green with nothing to declare, and I think the blue one is for EU people. And there we've got more baggage belts, and you go out through the doors to LANDSIDE. Okay, so here's a quick view from the flight deck inside the ASOBO ATR-72. This is the view you'll get when you park up. And looking out across the captain's window and across the first officer's side. Okay, so that was the airport during the day. Let's turn it down to dusk now and see what it looks like when the lights come on. Okay, 10 past 8 in the evening. Like I said, it's 1st of April 2025. It's sort of early spring. Lights came on about 4 minutes ago, and this is the view across the ramp looking towards landside. The lighting is really nice. It looks a little bit brash when it comes from the... I mean, these look a little bit over bright. Maybe they just need to be like that in order to provide enough light on the ramp, I don't know. But as you can see, various areas look just a little bit brash lighting. They're just a little bit over white. But anyway, this is the way it looks from up here. It might look different when we get down below. As you can see, the runway out there in the distance. And there you can see the taxiway Alpha bring you into the ramp, and now we can see centerline lights and blue edge lights. Couldn't see them very much during the day. Now we can see them, which is great. There you've got the runway, and you've got lighting, a little bit of lighting here and there too. And there you've got lighting over part of the landside car park, and there's the highway there to the east, I believe that is. Or no, sorry, to the north. Sun goes down over here. Once again, a view from the flight deck. Looking through the front window here, you can see the lighting on the building, and you can see how sort of slightly brash or slightly overdone it appears to be. This is probably my only real criticism. Sometimes it happens where developers do this, and it just looks a little bit overdone. It's not quite as subtle as it might be. Looking out the captain's side and the first officer's side. So once again, a couple of close-up looks at the ramp here, which is what you guys are interested in. Here's the aircraft parked on stand 2. A little bit of a close-up. You can see the aircraft lit inside the cockpit here, and here you can see the people we looked at airside in the airside lounge. And you've got some down here as well. Some nice drop lighting on the buildings that highlight some of the weathering, which again makes it look pretty real. And there's a slightly higher shot, and here you can see how brash this looks. It really looks total white. There's nothing real subtle about this, unfortunately. But you know, no real complaints. The actual parking area, manoeuvring area here, is lit very well. It's more than enough for you to use. Lots of little subtle lighting and drop lighting here and there. And again, this all looks a little bit brash, but no problem at all really. And they're looking from the other side. It looks like many airports. This place comes to life a little bit after dark. You start seeing into the terminal through the windows, which is lit, and yeah, it looks good. Now as you get closer, you can see it doesn't look quite so brash. Let's pop inside. So inside it doesn't look too bad. It's still really bright. But I don't know, like I said, maybe it's just needed to give the right effect. But it just looks, it's not quite as subtle as it could be. But here's this other area that we didn't quite look at as such. Again, from the outside, actually this doesn't look too bad at all. It's not quite as brash as the building we've just looked at. Let's pop inside. So once again, this looks quite nice. Got a couple of people just to bring it to life a bit, and yeah, inside it's still very bright. But no, it's okay, it's fine. And again, you know, the attention to detail with these little emergency signs and stuff on the doors. You know, this is really good. It's just a pity they've neglected to add people in certain areas. Okay, just a little tour across the ramp here. I mean, dusk is upon us and the light is fading quite rapidly actually. As we come up there, you can see the control tower's lit inside as well. And there you can see the signage there to the left to the runway for Taxiway Alpha. And it all looks really nice, it really does. There's the fire station and the fire engine tender. Here we go, landside. Nice to see the fact they've got no ASOBO glows floating around here. There you can see departures, the lighting is on inside. It's nice, it's just devoid of people. Would have been nice to have a few more people around. There's the rental car, and you have lighting down the road as well, which is good. Can't see any ASOBO glows floating around here in the main scenery. So a quick look here, you've got this building just east of Apron B. And here's Apron B, all nicely lit up. And a view from the other side, and there you can see Apron B. The Taxiway B goes onto the runway, and you have the single fire tender, which is a static model, which unfortunately is not lit, but there we go. Okay, so that was dusk. As you can see, the night time is rapidly approaching. Let's drop it down to night time now and have a look. Okay, 10 PM local time, it's the dead of night. And here you can see the main apron there, nicely fully lit. All looks pretty good, to be honest. And you also have this kind of yellowy glow here and there, which, I mean, it just works. It looks really nice. And to be honest, the brashness of the white light doesn't look quite so bad at night time when the sun is gone. There below is Taxiway Alpha. You can see the blue airfield edge lights and the green centerline lights help you find your way off the runway. And when you get onto the apron, you've got plenty of light here. It's not going to be a problem at all. View from the flight deck, just looking across the first officer's window. And there's a quick look across the top of the aircraft towards the terminal. So once again, here's the main ramp close up. The lighting is very white. I don't really know why that is. I don't know if it's a limitation of the developer, or maybe they've had to make it that way to give the effect on the rest of the buildings. I don't know. It just looks over bright. It's not as subtle as it could be. I mean, it's okay, it's acceptable. Certainly from a pilot's point of view, it's not really going to be an issue. And looking in the other direction, as I said, not much change. The ramp looks really good, really does. It's really not a problem at all. Lighting is quite light. It's really quite nice. So let's go airside to landside. Just go across the top of the building. Just give you some idea of what it looks like. It's not bad at all, you know. It's a lovely little scenery. When we cross to landside, if you've got the landside car park there, there's the entrance road that goes out of the airport. And here you've got the main car park landside. And travelling the other way, there you can see departures on the ground level landside. And this is the arrivals building. Nice to see all of the air conditioning units. That, I believe, is a static model there to the right. So just a quick look at the taxiway and signage at night time. There you can see blue airfield edge lights, the centerline lights, taxiway signage there, no problem at all, even though the concrete is basically totally black. I mean, you'll need your nose gear light, but really I can't see any issues at all, to be honest. Okay, so that was night time. Let's bring the dawn up. Hopefully I'm in the right position to see the glow on the buildings. Let's bring it up to the dawn. Okay, 7:20 in the morning. As you can see, the dawn's upon us, and you have this lovely red glow on everything. I think the dawn, I mean, these times of the day look really nice. Nice time of the day to fly. Looking out to the runway there. And there's the sun coming up in the east, and you've got this fuel farm area here in front of us. Okay, it's 1 hour later, 8:20 in the morning, and time to wrap up this review and give you my thoughts. This is a lovely scenery. The ortho photos, the ground really works. As you can see, it blends in very well with the default. In many cases, it's hard to tell where the scenery ends and the default begins. The airport itself is very nicely modelled. Some really nice attention to detail. Little signs on the doors. The departure boards can be read perfectly, even right up close. And they've modelled the inside side of the terminal really well. Just the downside is, okay, no controllers in the control tower again, although they've modelled it. I would like to see also some figures maybe out landside. A couple of families just got out of taxi. They've got a couple of vehicles there, and the landside area looks really inviting, but a couple of people figures would just make it look a little bit nicer. I'm not sure about the white brash lighting during the darkness hours. It's noticeable, but it's not a major deal. Maybe it's a case of refining the scenery to make the lighting a little bit more subtle. It does look as though it's sort of had huge amounts of white paint splashed on it, all lit up. But no, I'm not really anything to complain about here. Okay, the runway's missing the runway end identifier lights, you know, but the scenery is sort of 95% accurate, and it's a lovely little airport. You could fly in here and use this. Certainly it's worth a shout. It's a 7,800 foot runway. You can get Airbuses in here, sure, and it's lovely. It really is. I like it. Well, what about the price? Okay, €17.27. It's nudging up there, but actually I think the price is quite reasonable. And remember, those prices include tax or VAT, and for you people in North America, your tax, I think, is a lot less than 20%, I believe, so you might get better prices. But for just under €18 or just over $18, it's a small scenery, but it's really, really well modelled. The weathering and texturing on the buildings, everything's been done, and the tiny little details here and there on the departure boards. It's lovely. It really is lovely. My only criticism is I'd like to see whether or not they could tone down the white light at night time, and whether they could add some passengers landside of the terminal. I mean, you can see them, you saw them when we had GSX running, and it makes a difference to see that sort of thing. Not saying that GSX is required, but when you see people around buildings, it just brings the airport to life. So I'd like to see a little bit more internally done. Some people out landside getting out of taxis or whatever, maybe a couple in some of the car parks as well. And yeah, and a controller or two in the control tower would just be the finishing touch. I think it's very nice. But that said, I've got no problem with this airport at all. I'm quite happy to recommend it. It's lovely. It really is. And for those of you who've got GSX, I will put the link to the profile. Well, basically I can't put the link in. You can get it from Inibuilds. So use it if you've got the Inibuilds or Inimanager app. You can get it from them there. Those of you who are interested in that ASOBO Aer Lingus livery, I will put the link to that livery from FLIGHTSIM.TO in the description below for you. But no, it's lovely. Thoroughly recommended. Very nice little scenery. And the second one I've looked at in Ireland, in the Republic, and yeah, really got to start flying in here. So there you are, folks. That's Knock, Ireland West Airport in the Republic of Ireland, Echo India Kilo November. Payware scenery by FlyX Simulations. Version 1.3 currently for the PC version of FlightSim 2020, with a version for 2024 available also. Downloads at 577 meg, installs at 853 megs. It's not huge, won't take up shed loads on your hard drive, but a very nice little airport. Available from both Simmarket and Inibuilds. As of today, 1st of April 2025, the best price I can find is the Inibuilds price, coming in at €17.27 or $18.65 US, or £14.39 UK. The US and the Euro prices quoted there are estimates taken from the UK pound, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which of course might be different depending on which country you're in when you make the purchase. The ASOBO ATR 4272600 Aer Lingus livery by Demo Designs, and that is on FLIGHTSIM.TO. See the description for the link to that. It's a really nice product, and I'm very happy that I managed to get a chance to look at it. So thanks for joining me. If you've been interested in this and wasn't too sure, I hope this has helped you. I love doing these sort of reviews. I mean, these sceneries are just wonderful. They really are. Later this week, stay tuned for when we look at Indianapolis version 2 and also Portland in Oregon version 2 as well. Two new sceneries that have come out recently that I'm going to have the pleasure of having a look at in the United States. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching. My name's Lee, and I hope to see you later in the week. If you like what I do, I'm a one-man band. Some of these sceneries I purchase, I don't get them all sent to me. So if you can help me out, buy me a coffee. It's really cheap. Again, links in the description below, and it really helps my efforts. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Guys, have safe flights this week, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.